Hello, 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 everybody who may or may not be watching right now or after the stream is over. I have a new PNG tuber. Is my stream okay? It just lost connection for a hot minute, and so I'm just making sure. Okay. It seems to be good now. I hope. Let's hope. Let's hope it's good. And hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully the music isn't too loud or too quiet. But today we're going to be working on environment. I was about to say environment streams. Duh, it's an environment stream. Environments and scenes. And I'm sure I'll probably only get through one today, if I even get through them at all, because environments are a bit of a struggle for me. But there's something that I need to get better at, and there's something that needs to be done. So, with that being said, I have my script here in front of me for the comic, and the first scene that we're going to be working on is, thank you Osha Man for the confirmation that the stream is good. That's always nice to know. Environments are really hard to draw, actually. At least for me they are. Is my watermark blocking my character? It is, isn't it? Has that always been the case? Hold on a second. Can I turn that off mid-stream? Probably not, right? I've never noticed that before. Has that always been an issue? There's gotta be a way to turn that off, right? I don't know if it'll process it mid-channel or mid-stream though. Probably not, right? I doubt it. Alright, I guess a watermark is just gonna be in front of my character. That sucks. I didn't notice it was always there. I have it set to show up at the end of the video, so I don't know why it's always there in the middle of the stream. So that's kind of annoying. I don't know why that happens. Whatever. You don't see a watermark? Okay, I guess it's just on my end then. That's somehow more frustrating that I'm seeing something that doesn't exist. That's cool. That's awesome. I love that for myself. I am a little psycho. Crazy? I was crazy once. I'm not saying the whole monologue. I don't want to say the whole monologue. Anyway, the reason why environments are a lot more difficult is because they involve a lot more planning, at least for me, than a character does. And they're not as interesting for me to draw either. I'm not that enthusiastic about drawing scenes or environments because they're just not my thing. But it's something that needs to be done. And the first character is area, basically, that needs to be drawn is Humanity's apartment. And I know Humanity sounds like a really dumb name, but I promise that there is a lore reason why she's named that. I just can't say what that is yet. But these are some images. Thank you, Osha Man, for doing the thing I didn't want to do. But yeah. This is basically what she looks like. She's 26 years old and is probably the most irresponsible person. Osha Man, don't spam, please. In the entire world. But I love her. She is one of my favorite characters that I've ever made, and she was the first one. So, I gotta think of how I want to start this now. And look at my script. What do I have for her? So she's got a futon. There's a bedside table with an alarm clock. Alarm clock? Is it an alarm clock or is she using her phone? Thanks, Osha Man. You know what? Why don't you draw an environment? So she's got a futon, a bedside table. Do I actually... It says off button, so I'm assuming it's an alarm clock, right? It's gotta be an actual alarm clock. Humanity would use a phone, you think? Well, she doesn't... Actually, no, I'm an idiot. She doesn't even own a phone. She actually doesn't own a phone, because she didn't... I can't say. I actually can't say why she doesn't own a phone, but she doesn't have a phone. So that was a dumb question. I totally forgot that I made it that she didn't... That she actually avoids owning a phone. She might use her laptop, though. She does have a laptop. It's a very crappy laptop, like a tiny Chromebook deal kind of laptop. Whatever off-brand I come up with for Chromebook. Listen, man, it's been a while, okay? It's been a while since I've written the script. I finished the script, like, at the beginning of the year, so now it's just been art-focused. What would she... She'd probably use a laptop alarm. You know what? I'll figure it out. I'll just figure it out. It doesn't really matter what alarm she has, actually. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to figure out what needs to go into the room, because if she does have an alarm clock, then I need to draw it. Let's see. The walls are decorated with posters of bands and movies. Cello case leaning against the wall that has been converted into a small shelving unit for movies and video games. Small TV. Oh, and there's CDs. A stereo. And then the Carolingian sword. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Make it a phone and then proceed to never have the phone. Yeah, I feel like that would be a plot hole because of the specific reason she doesn't have a phone. I can't do that. Okay. I think what I'm going to start with is probably a top-down view of the layout, like a blueprint. I feel like that'd be the easier way to go. And just to make me feel better, I'm going to make it blue, because why not? What the heck? Why did you zoom in? Or zoom out? I didn't want you to zoom out. Okay. So I do actually have a reference for what I want the apartment to look like, which does make it easier. Because I know somebody who lived in one of these one-room apartments. Why am I blue? Because it's a blueprint, that's why. Although I guess generally blueprints make the background is blue and the rest is in white, but I'm not doing that. Okay. So we'll start with that. So, bedside table should probably go there. And then futon. Closet should probably go right here. And then shelving unit right there. And then TV. I'm gonna give her a CCTV just because she likes old style stuff. And then she has basically this world's equivalent of a PlayStation. And I'm gonna give her the small one. The PlayStation Uno. That's a giant Uno PlayStation. Hang on a second. TV's not that big. She's got a small TV. Like, it's a really small TV. The stay station? No, I actually called it the entertation. Like entertainment, but it's entertainment station, so it's enter station. I know, I'm so clever. Not. I'll put the stereo over here. It's just sitting on the floor. And then PlayStation, and then, or the Entertation, whatever, and then, what was the bold prism? What did I make the bold prism? What is that? Frick. Was it a Game Boy? No. What the heck did I make a bold prism? There's only so many gaming systems, so like what is that? It must have been a Game Boy. It has to be. There's nothing else it could be. Right? You know, it doesn't really matter. It's just another gaming system, so I'm just gonna put it on this side. And then there's some stuff hanging on the wall, but top-down view, you don't really need that. And then whiskey bottles. Because girl has a bit of a drinking problem. Sure. Okay, so that's the living room of this very tiny one-bedroom apartment. So she goes to the closet, she gets dressed, and then she heads to the bathroom. So this bathroom's gotta be small too. So this bathroom is probably like about that. Sounds about right, right? Yeah, so then the walkway into the rest of the room is there. Change canvas size. I knew I'd have to. I knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't because I was a fool. Okay. Golly, can I draw straight? Like, just once, please? Okay. So, this is the bathroom. So we've got the sink here. And then toilet right there. And then tub right there. The shower. Easy enough. Cool. Sure. Okay, and then kitchen is right here. So we've got the fridge, cabinets, put an oven right there. Actually, we need a sink. Very small kitchen. This will be countertop space right there with little stools. Yeah. And then she's got a cat. So, kitty litter box will go in the corner. And then kitty food bowl and water bowl will go over here. I don't know if actually having the litter box there is a good idea. Because, like, realistically, you wouldn't put a litter box at the front door. That'd be stupid. Nah. No, she wouldn't put it there either. There we go. Litter box goes in the bathroom. Makes sense. Food goes near the kitchen. Makes sense. And then have a little cat tree. I don't know how to make a cat tree from the top, but there we go. It's a cat tree. It exists there. Have a cat tree in there. Scratching post. Few scratching posts, actually. A cheap derby car? Like, how cheap are we talking? Because, I mean, if they're affordable, I would say go for it. For both? That's actually a pretty nice deal. And then we have a thing full of cat toys. She spends more money on her cat than she does herself. Which, I mean, like, relatable. Okay. I'm gonna color code these now. I'm doing all the important things that are directly named and used. It's a little hard to see. That's even worse. Now the orange hurts to see. And now the red hurts to see. Dude. Here we go. Whoops. Can't you just, like, buy them, though? I mean, it's your money. Oh, yeah. Probably not. Oh, that's basically the same color. Whoopsie daisy. That's hard to see. There we go. That flask is actually important. That's important. That is one of her key items. Not that she, like, uses it in the story or anything, but it's an item that represents her. Alright. Alright. So the top view is done. That's the easy part. The hard part is getting inside of it and actually seeing what this looks like when you're in the house or in the apartment. Which is gonna suck. That's gonna be the really sucky part. Quoting that? Quoting what? That's gonna be the sucky part? I don't know if that's as much of an iconic quote as I want it to be. It's the first of many iconic quotes, if you say so. Okay. Now I'm gonna do what I actually did learn in school, which was an isometric view. Which basically isometric room. It basically basically looks like hang on a second. It basically looks like this. So you just basically everything is the same length or whatever, which does make it let me finally use that degree. Yeah. Which does make it a little complicated because obviously humanity's room is not the same width all the way or length all the way around. So I'm gonna have to improvise a little bit, but it's basically gonna look something like this, to where you can see both the walls and you can see inside the room to get a good feel of how this character actually is. We had to do this for visual development, and with that, we had to throw in 5 key items that were in the room somewhere. Whether they were on a shelf, or a poster on the wall, or an item on the floor, or whatever. They just had to be somewhere in the room. So, it's basically what we're going for here. Ugh. Honestly, it's actually better to just start with a solid line. Like an actual solid line. I want to grab this. Like an individual point. How do I... How... I don't know how to do this. I don't work with lines usually. I just usually just draw and hope for the best. I guess I'll just forever be crooked. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. So we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. So this is the corner of her room. Top-down view, corner of a room. You'd be able to see that. But basically, what I'm gonna try and attempt to do is take this entire room, shrink it down so it fits in this tiny little isometric view. Which I have no idea how I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna try anyway. So let me steal this color real quick. We're gonna start with the futon because I feel like the futon is gonna be the biggest pain. Whoops. Keep doing that by accident. That looks like the comfiest futon ever. I don't think I've ever seen a futon look more comfortable. Okay. Then bedside table. And then the stereo. Sure. That's definitely what a stereo looks like. Oh my gosh, work for me! Then... Oh. Closet. I keep hitting the wrong flippin' thing. Okay. Okay. Then this color again. And now I have to turn a cello case into a shelving unit. That'll be interesting. What does a cello case even look like? I have a violin case next to me, but I assume it doesn't look exactly the same. I was right, it does not look at all the same, actually. It actually is shaped like the cello it carries, unlike violins, which is just a giant triangle looking thing. Okay, you know what, Oshaman? In my defense, a violin case, the violin case that I have, does not look exactly like a violin, dude. You've seen it. I know you know what it looks like. It don't look like a violin. It just looks like a triangle. Alright. Alright, bro. Okay. Hello. I'm gonna go with Owl Reaper on that one. Hello, Owl Reaper. Thank you for joining us. What is that? That's not what I want. Inoichi? That's how you pronounce it? Okay. Inochi, not Inoichi. What was I doing putting an extra I? It's Inochi. Got it. Bro, I really wish I knew what gaming system I named the Bold Prism after. Like, I can't believe I'm having this much trouble. I'm doing good. learning how to speak owl, apparently, so that's always a plus. GameCube! Oh my gosh, that's what it... Was it the GameCube that I'm thinking of? I don't know. I really hope so. It was an old one. It was an old one. But I think it might have been the GameCube. Was it the GameCube? It was. It was the GameCube, because I call it the bold prism, because it's a prism. Cube. Prism. Duh. Thank you. Thank you so much, Osha Man. Thank you. Thank you. My goodness. I could not... I was completely blanking on that existing. Then again, I never actually owned one, so you know. I mean, yeah, sure, that's alright. Raid target, though. Raid, isn't that like the thing on Twitch when like a streamer sends their audience to another streamer? Does YouTube have that too? Because I didn't know YouTube also had that, if that's the case. And no, Shaman, I never had a GameCube. I know, it's a travesty. I did not know YouTube had that. That's cool. That's actually really, really neat. I thought it was just a Twitch thing. Ugh. Okay, what else is in this room? Whoopsie daisy, I did not mean to zoom in. How in the world... Stop that. Stop zooming in. I just want you to scroll up, please. Cat tree. That's what I need to draw now. It's the cat tree. I forgot to grab the color. I need to look up a cat tree. I don't look at my cat's cat tree enough to know what a cat tree looks like by memory. There we go. That's a simple cat tree enough. Fuzzy cylindrical object. But I mean, that's part of it, but like cat trees also have the little platforms for cats to sit on. And even if I did try to draw it from memory, a reference never hurts. In fact, I encourage it for anyone starting out art. Even professionals still need references, so like, if you're able to get a reference, get a reference. This is actually genuinely difficult to draw from this angle. Mostly because I'm pretty sure I made it too big. As of right now, the cat tree is somehow bigger than the TV, and that's not possible. Okay. Thank you, Inochi. Oh, and you're an artist too. That's really cool. It's always nice to meet fellow artists. Yes. Thank you for the sub and the like. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, have a good night. Dude, cat trees are so weird. I guess they do need to be kind of big, actually, because they need to be tall, because cats they like high places. It's kind of like their whole deal. Okay, so got that part done. The cat tree looks atrocious, but oh well. That's just the way the cookie crumbles for now. So now she also has... Oh wait, I almost forgot. There's a rug, and there's whiskey bottles. I almost forgot. How foolish of me to almost forget these things, even though I'm the one who drew them like 5 minutes ago. Okay, that one's being blocked by the cat tree, so I don't need to draw that one. Alright, and then the flask. Ooh, sorry. I don't know if you heard that, but I had a hiccup, and it was very distracting for a second. At least for me, it was. What does the flask look like again? Like a flask. Alyssa, it looks like a flask. There's only so many ways a flask can look. It looks like a flask. Okay. None of these bottles on the floor actually look like this whiskey, so I should probably... You know what? I'll draw it on the table next to this one. Why not? Perfect. Nailed it. Okay, now for the posters. So, the posters that she's got is of her favorite band, Mary Death. So, oh, I'm sorry, I just tapped my microphone. I keep doing that. So, a poster. Oh, shoot, what have I done? So, a poster, kind of like this. Man, I'm gonna have to draw that. Like, but it already looks so good like that. I'm gonna have to recreate that. Bruh. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Okay. Such is the life of an artist. Okay. So basically a bigger version of that, so... I'm already failing. Okay. Oh, okay. Good night, Osha Man. Thank you for joining, though. Okay. And then our mechanical dance, which is basically this world's version of My Chemical Romance. So, I need to look up one of their album covers to have an idea of what I need to go for, because I actually don't listen to them enough to have their whole... I mean, I shouldn't say that. I listen to enough to understand their vibe, but I don't listen to them enough to where I recognize what their main thing is. Is it just that little skeleton with the parade outfit because of the Black Parade song? When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. To see a marching band. Okay. Poster. Okay, yeah, so it is just that. Okay. So, what would our mechanical dance look like? I would imagine two robots dancing, but like the robots are falling apart. That's kind of what I get from the prompt, our mechanical dance. So, I'll do that. And we'll put it above the closet. Okay. And ceramic creatures, that's a reference to glass animals. So, glass animals. I know. I listen to glass animals all the time, so you'd think I'd have their stuff memorized. Like their posters and what they look and their album covers recognized. I don't. I just listen. Oh, is that the poster for their latest album? That looks so freaking cool. Oh, that actually looks so cool. I'm a sucker for space, so that's like... Oh, that's actually so cool. Okay. So their album covers don't really ever have the same vibe. What the heck happened here? Why did that line happen? So, but yeah, their album covers don't have a really consistent vibe, so I can't really use the same rule for this as I did for My Chemical Romance. So, instead, I'll just have to go with the prompt again. Ceramic animals. Or ceramic creatures. Well, ceramic. Isn't ceramic really fragile? Is ceramic also just glass? Is it straight up glass? Okay. It is not. Although some types of ceramics are more durable than others, okay. So they're brittle. And they tend to shatter or crack under stress. Heh. Alright, I've got a perfect idea for a poster then, because ceramic creatures, humans. Their songs are usually about just cracking under pressure. Pressure that'll drip, 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 that'll never stop. Whoa. Pressure like a tick, tick, tick when it's ready to... Give it to your sister is older. Give her all the heavy lifting, weakest shoulder. Who am I if I can't handle the fall? If I fall to pressure that'll tick, tick, tick like it's ready to blow. Whoa. I don't know all the lyrics. I wish I did. Encanto was a masterpiece. Okay. And then movies. She's got movie posters too. So one of those movie posters is Screaming of the Wolves, which is a direct reference, like basically this world's version of Silence of the Lambs. And I know what that album cover looks like. It looks like it's a woman with a moth over her mouth, which is really weird because, I mean, I know that it's supposed to be like the woman is considered the moth, or not the moth, the lamb, like, because lamb's for the slaughter or whatever. But I don't know, you'd think there'd be a lamb, but there's not. So we'll make these butterflies, even though you can't really tell the difference in this poster, but they're butterflies, they're butterflies. Okay, there's that poster. And then Citizen Vile is a reference to Resident Evil, which, when I think of Resident Evil, I just think of the eyeball at the opening intro of the first game. Ugh. And when I say the first game, I mean like the director's cut version with the DualShock, and I have to emphasize that because for some reason the DualShock version of the director's cut Resident Evil game for the PlayStation 1 had a completely different soundtrack than the non-DualShock version. And because that's the one I grew up with, that's the one I prefer, even though it's not that great, you know? That's really not that great of a soundtrack. But when I listen to the other one, like when I watch other people play Resident Evil and on YouTube, and it's not the DualShock version, I'm like, this isn't right. This feels wrong to have this playing, because this is not the right music that should be playing here. So, call me crazy, but I have a real special place in my heart for the director's cut DualShock OST. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, bro, you are missing out. One day, maybe, I would like to play that particular version of Resident Evil and record it. The only problem is that I have like an irrational fear of this game. Like, I can't play it without shaking like a leaf. Because I grew up watching my mom play it, and before you all be like, oh my gosh, your mom let you watch that game? No, not really. She would tell me to hide behind the couch or hide behind a pillow or cover my eyes during like the scary parts, you know, the scary cutscenes and whatever. But, you know, one day I decided to get brave and I decided to peek from behind the couch at the opening intro cutscene. Not the opening intro cutscene, sorry. The cutscene where the first zombie gets introduced. And if you've seen that cutscene, you're gonna be like, Allie, that cutscene is not scary at all. You're right, it's not. But to little child me, I don't even remember how old I was, but to little child me, it was terrifying. My shivers were thoroughly timbered. What? My timbers were thoroughly shivered. And ever since then, if I watch somebody play Resident Evil Director's Cut, no matter who it is, I end up having the same nightmare. So that's awesome for me, right? But because of that, I have a deep love for this game. I have a deep love for all the games that I know of. I have to put that because I have not seen Resident Evil 4. I know that there was a remake for it, but I just didn't watch it. I didn't see 5 or 6, but I did see 7. 7's great. I love 8. I saw 2 and 3, the remakes. I've heard a lot of people were disappointed from the third's remake. But the first one, that very specific version of the first one with the DualShock controller, that will always be my favorite. How do you spell citizen? Okay, I have it written down in front of me. I just completely blanked on how to spell it for a second. Dude, that was actually totally an accident. I didn't even mean to make the person the I. That was a total accident. It was a total improv right there. Alright, and the final movie is Knife, which is just this world's version of Scream. And I have run out of room, apparently. I don't know where to put that. Oh, no. I'm gonna have to fix that. But it's fine. Okay. Pretty sure the Scream movie poster is just Ghostface. Oh, you know what? I should have called it Ghost. Oh well. Wait, no, there's already a movie called Ghost. Never mind. Phenomenal movie. I love that movie. I know it's not. Actually, doesn't have Ghostface on there at all. Fascinating. Someone's taken their love of scary movies one step too far. Yeah, no kidding. Yo, one of the girls on the cover of this Scream movie poster, isn't she the girl that dies in the beginning? No, no, it's not. Never mind. That's the one that gets crushed in the garage door. You know what would be a fun art challenge? Being given a prompt, like just any random prompt, and then you have to make some kind of movie poster out of it. Which is basically what I've done to myself this whole entire time. But, like an actual art challenge, I think that'd be really fun. Also, I would like to say that even though the top down view of this was, it stayed sketchy, I don't intend to leave the isometric room sketch like this. I intend to color it. It's just for now, I'm not going to because there's still a lot of more sketching to do. Because now that I've gotten the isometric sketch of this room done, um, which is great, it's a good thing that I did. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the Carolingian sword. Oh shoot, I forgot about her sword, dude. Oh no. Hanging on the wall. Okay, so it doesn't say where it's hanging on the wall, so I can actually fit it in somewhere. like, like. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh my god, move the freaking thing. There we go. Right here. It'll be hanging downwards. I'm running out of unique colors, though, which is a bit of a problem. Here we go, we'll go for peach for the sword. I need to look up what a Carolingian sword looks like. I forgot what it looks like. Am I even saying that right? Is it Carolingian, 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 Carolingian? Carolingian sounds correct. and Viking sword, which are so cool. Okay. Open image. Wait a minute, I drew one already. What am I doing? What? It's freaking right there. Okay. That's a backwards E. I promise I know how to write. Nope. Maybe I don't. Okay. I know that that's the ISA symbol, but I want to make sure I get it right because I can't actually see it because I zoomed it in too small. ISA rune symbol. Is it just a line? Is it really just a line? Oh wow, it's just a line. Okay, cool. I was worried about nothing. Okay, and then AWAS. I don't think I'm saying that correctly, actually. I really hope I am. Okay, and then Manaz, which is... I still don't think I'm saying that right. I really, really hope I'm pronouncing those correctly, because if I'm not, that's going to be really embarrassing. And maybe even a tad problematic. But I'm doing my best here. Okay. There we go. Whoa! Isometric sketch is done. Why does that TV look way too small, though? I feel like that TV is excessively tiny. Like, tinier than it should be, right? Like, it's a small TV, but it ain't that small. Whoops, wrong color. Well, now the GameCube looks way too close to it. Just a little bit of space. That's all you need. Perfect. Okay. Now that looks a little better. Okay. Cool, and I'm gonna label this as ISO sketch. Okay, there we go. Alright. Sorry, I hit my microphone again. Now comes the question. It is currently 11 p.m. I could continue with the next thing, which is actually drawing the camera angle that I need for each shot of this room and the rest of the apartment that I envision in my head, which could actually involve drawing multiple camera angles because you want options instead of just settling for one, even if you're only working for yourself. You want to give yourself options. So it's just kind of a, do I start doing that now or do I call it a night? And frankly, considering that this stream is already going on for 2 hours, and I actually managed to get done more than I thought I would, I thought that the top-down sketch, honestly, I thought that was going to take me a little longer than it did, just because I'm not as good at drawing environments as characters. I could spout out like 20 characters within an hour. Just give me a hot minute. Like, as long as you're not asking for color, I should say. If you're not asking for, like, color and different variations of different versions of every single character design, like, if you're just asking me, give me your rough pass, one design of 20 characters right now, give me an hour and I can do it. Because character designs is my specialty. That's what I love to do. But environments, like, that actually takes me a lot more brain power. because I don't draw them. They're not my go-to choice when I sit down and draw. Like, I've never once sat down and been like, all right, time to draw a landscape. Like, that's just not me. That's not what I do. But I will admit this is fun. I do like drawing ISO rooms. I like drawing top-down sketches. I like drawing floor plans. I genuinely do. I just don't do it very often. And I would like to get better at them, which is great news because I'm gonna have to do them a lot for this comic. I'm gonna have to do so many. But that also means more live streams. So that's even better. So with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching this after the stream has ended and it interested you at all, I'll probably end up live streaming tomorrow too. I'll live stream as much as I possibly can because I've got a lot of work to do, and I'd like for you guys to join me while I'm working, because that makes it fun, and it actually makes it more, how do I phrase it? It's more motivating for me knowing that people are actually watching and maybe caring about what I do. If you're just here to vibe, then that's cool too. I'm totally get the vibe, chatting, whatever, background noise. I get it. But even then, it's still encouraging, and it's more motivating knowing that there are people who do want to see what I do. So I will definitely be live streaming more. So if you couldn't make this one, don't worry. There's gonna be a lot more that you could possibly make. Do I have an exact schedule or time to give you? No, because sometimes I like streaming at noon, and sometimes I like streaming at midnight. So I don't have a consistent answer for that. My best suggestion would be to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so that way you'll get notified immediately when that happens. See what I did there? Perfect transition. I've actually never told anybody to hit the bell before. That's my first time. So, yeah, but it actually would help if you did, so that's great. Anyways, I'm really bad at outros, if you can't tell. With all that being said, if you did join during the stream, thank you so much. Thank you especially to Inochi for the subscribe and the like and for joining. Thank you to Oshaman for joining as well before he had to go to bed. And thank you to anyone else who possibly joined and just didn't pop in the chat. And that's totally fine. You don't have to. But thank you for watching anyhow. And finally, with all that being said, if you would like to see more content from me, you already know what to do, because I already said it like 2 seconds ago, so I'm not going to say it again. And I'm finally going to just shut up and say, on that note, see you fellow weirdos.